Before we start, take a moment to like and subscribe. A long, long time ago, after a great flood had washed over the world, everything was different. The world was new again, and all the people in it were part of one big family. They were all related, and they all lived together in a place called the Land of Shinar. The best part? Everyone spoke the exact same language. You could talk to anyone you wanted, no matter where they were from. It was like living in one giant house where everyone was your sibling. Life was simple, and people were happy and united. They worked together, ate together, and shared stories under the stars. There was no confusion, no misunderstanding. But as time went on and more people were born, they started to think bigger. They looked at the wide, empty world and saw endless possibilities. They moved eastward until they came to a beautiful plain with plenty of space. Instead of living in small groups and spreading out like they were told to, they all decided to stay together. They thought, why should we spread out? Let's stay right here, all in one place. It was a decision that would change everything. One day, as the people gathered in the newly settled plain, a single figure stood before the growing crowd. With a commanding gesture, he silenced the murmuring and began to speak. Friends, we have everything we could ever need right here. We are one family, with one language. Why should we ever scatter and lose this unity? Let us not simply exist. Let us build something to define us. We will make bricks and bake them in the fire until they are as hard and strong as stone. And with these bricks, we will construct a city. But this will not be just any city. In the heart of it, we will raise a tower so high its top will reach the heavens. A wave of excitement swept through the people. The proposal wasn't just about building a city. It was about building a legacy, a monument to their own greatness. The man continued, his voice now a powerful roar. This tower, he proclaimed, will be our mark on the world. It will show every generation that comes after us how powerful and clever we were. It will be our name, a symbol of our fame that will last forever. And by building it, we will bind ourselves to this place, ensuring we are never scattered across the face of the earth. The words resonated deep in their hearts, tapping into a collective sense of pride and a fear of being forgotten. The initial excitement was replaced by a grim determination. The people didn't discuss the idea. They embraced it as a single organism. Soon, the plain was alive with a flurry of activity. Teams of men dug clay from the riverbed, while others mixed it with straw and pressed it into molds. Enormous kilns were constructed to bake the bricks, their fiery mouths glowing against the night sky. The air, once clear and fresh, became thick with the smoky haze of production. Every hand, from the youngest child to the oldest elder, contributed to the colossal effort. They were no longer just a community. They were a workforce, all focused on the grand, selfish ambition of their city and their tower. The construction of the tower became an endless, rhythmic symphony of human effort and immense pride. The single language was the key to their shocking efficiency. Teams of thousands worked in perfect coordination, their movements synchronized and seamless. The air was thick with the smell of drying mud, hot tar, and the dust from countless baked bricks. From the ground, one could hear the steady thud of ropes pulling heavy loads, the precise chipping of stone, and the loud, clear shouts of foremen whose commands were understood without question. Heave! A man would bellow, and 100 men would shift in perfect unison, lifting a massive stone block with ease. There was no confusion, no missed cues, just a powerful, singular purpose. The tower itself was a marvel of engineering and an impossible display of human will. Its base was as wide as a small town, and it rose in a series of colossal tiered platforms, each one a testament to their ambition. They weren't building just a pillar. They were building a man-made mountain of bricks, a ziggurat that spiraled ever closer to the heavens. As the years passed, the people became completely obsessed with the structure. Their lives revolved around it, with all other projects and pursuits fading into the background. The higher the tower grew, the more arrogant and untouchable the people felt. Those who worked on the highest levels looked down at the world and felt a dizzying sense of power and superiority. The world below looked small and insignificant. And the clouds seemed so close that they believed they were just inches away from proving their own divinity. They started to tell stories about their incredible power, about how their cleverness was unmatched, and that nothing could ever stop them. The tower became their god, a towering symbol of their own glory that blinded them to everything else. Including their original purpose to spread out and fill the earth, they felt invincible, untouchable, and completely self-sufficient. God was watching all of this from his place above. He saw not just the physical city and the looming tower, but the intention behind it. He wasn't filled with anger in the way a human would be, but with a sorrowful wisdom. He saw how their singular unity and ambition, a gift he had given them, had become a tool for defiance. They are one people with one language, and this is only the beginning of what they will do, he said. Nothing will be impossible for them if they continue this way. They have turned their hearts away from me and from their purpose. I will go down and confuse their language so they can no longer understand each other. This will cause them to stop their work and scatter across the face of the earth, as they were always meant to do. And so it was done. The next morning, as the sun rose over the massive construction site, the first signs of the change appeared. A foreman at the base of the tower bellowed an order, his voice a familiar, powerful command. But the workers around him simply stared back with puzzled expressions. One of them pointed to a heavy stone block and said something that sounded like a question, but the foreman heard only a nonsensical collection of sounds. "What?" the foreman asked, but the word came out in a completely new tongue, a strange, sharp sound that meant nothing to the worker. All at once, the rhythmic symphony of labor dissolved into a cacophony of gibberish. A man shouted, "Pull!" But a group of men heard a word that meant push, and they strained against the rope in the wrong direction, their faces red with confusion. On a higher level of the tower, a builder called for mortar, but his partner brought him a piece of clay, and the argument that followed was a string of frustrated, incomprehensible words. The sound of hammers and chisels grew erratic, then stopped altogether. The confusion quickly turned to fear and anger. People who had been lifelong friends suddenly found themselves unable to communicate. The simple, shared bond of language, the very thing they had prized so highly, was gone. Shouts of frustration gave way to desperate gestures, then to shoving and fighting. The magnificent, unified machine of workers broke down. The sound of their shared purpose was replaced by the noise of misunderstanding. And the tower, their monument to pride, stood silent and still, a gigantic, unfinished testament to their broken dream. The confusion was so complete that the building had to stop. The people couldn't work together anymore. A simple task like lifting a stone became impossible because no one could agree on what to do. The frustration turned into arguments. Arguments turned into fights. Soon, the big family that had been so close started to break apart. The people who could still understand each other, maybe 2 or 3 families who all spoke the same new language, packed up their things and left. They moved away to find a new place to live, a place where they could be with their own kind. The tower was left unfinished, a gigantic silent monument to a failed dream. The city, once so full of life and purpose, became a place of noise and confusion. And as the families left, they spread out across the entire earth, just as they were supposed to in the first place. That's why today there are so many different languages and cultures all over the world. It's a story about a time when everyone was the same, and what happened when they forgot that their true purpose was to fill the world, not just a single city.